Spatha. The Spatha was a type of sword deployed by the Roman Empire, introduced into the Roman army by Celtic Auxiliaries, who had continued to use their famed longswords. Eventually, the sword would go on to replace the famed Gladius, and would continue to be in use for many centuries to come. The Spatha was a straight longsword, measuring between 0.75 to 1 metre, with a handle length between 18 and 20 centimetres. Due to its long length, it was perfect for cavalry, and as a result was primarily used as a slicing weapon. Gradually, the Spatha moved from being a cavalry sword to being a sword used by both infantry and cavalry. This was for a variety of reasons, but mainly to increase the reach when the Legionary was thrusting. By the fall of the Western Roman Empire, this sword had become the standard sword used in both cavalry and infantry, replacing the Gladius. The use of the Spatha in both cavalry and infantry resulted in the Romans altering the designs of the sword. When used by an infantryman, the Spatha had a long point, thus increasing the reach of the sword, while Spatha carried by cavalry had a rounded tip. This was to prevent accidental stabbing of the cavalryman's own foot or horse. This specialising made the weapon even more deadly and better suited to the auxiliary-based military system of the late Roman Empire. As well as this, a similar sword would also be utilised by the Vikings, whose blade was very slightly longer. These blades most likely came into use as a result of trade with Frankish swordsmiths, whose work was very popular with the Vikings. So much so that the Franks eventually had to ban selling the swords to them. This was because the swords being made by the Franks were then being used against them when the Vikings raided their territory. Gradually, the Spatha slowly evolved into the medieval sword we all know today. This was mainly via the guardal growth of the front handguard into a full crossguard, and the slow reduction of the typical Viking-era pommel into a simpler nut or disc shape. Thank you for watching and listening. What historical weapons would you like to see next? Comment down below and I'll be sure to add them to the list. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I've been the Ancient History Guy, and as always, I'll be seeing you later.